Last time on the All-Star Challenge Tour, Team Mayhem took the points lead in East Rutherford with their Max D taking the racing win, while HyperShock pulled out all the stops in freestyle. Tonight we're taking Foxborough, Massachusetts by storm, hoping to see some competition from Team Thunder. Can they make it happen? This is the Rorsrps semi-realistic points series. This is Monster Jam! Hello everybody and welcome back to the Rorsrps channel. My name is Preston Vieira and we are back on the All-Star Challenge Tour featuring Team Thunder versus Team Mayhem. Tonight we're in Foxborough, Massachusetts with two goals in mind, finding our two Dubby champions and finding out if Team Thunder is truly here to play, including our debuting sub filling in for Lucas Stabilizer, Bernard Lyght in the Amazing Spider-Man. Let's find out as we jump into the action, starting with a look at our Dubby Racing bracket. Kicking off the first round, it's Zack Anana for Team Mayhem in Max D, taking on Bernard Lyght in the Amazing Spider-Man. Devin Barber in Avenger will take on Tyler Menninga in HyperShock once again. John Gordon in Bad Company will face off against Team Mayhem's Gravedigger with Jake Cranford behind the wheel. Dave Reed in Northern Nightmare will face off against Rick Steffens in Blown Money. EJ Hayden in Blue Thunder will face off against Bari Musau in Zombie. Preston Perez in Monster Mutt Rottweiler will take on Team Thunder's Gravedigger with Shane Lake behind the wheel. Mohawk Warrior Bryce Kinney will take on Cam McQueen in Bro Camino. And last but not least, it'll be Team Thunder's Max D with Trevor Goldberg behind the wheel, taking on Jackson Challet in Piece of Scrap. Got a lot of interesting races lined up here in round one. Speaking of an interesting race, we got Zack Anana here on your right in Max D, taking on Bernard Lyght in the Amazing Spider-Man, the first substitute for this All-Star Challenge Tour. Now, here's the thing. Zack Anana took the win in Metlife Stadium just a couple short weeks ago. He wants to do it again tonight. He has to get past the sub here in round one, which may or may not be a challenge. I mean, these subs haven't proved themselves yet. They debut typically for their first time. Unless they get a win in their first show, they're not going to come back for a second. So they need either a racing or a freestyle win in order to earn themselves a second show. And if they do so, they've kind of proved themselves. They've proven that they're a force to be reckoned with. Here tonight, Bernard Lyght needs to prove himself, and he has a tough draw here in round one of racing to start out the night. So we'll see how he does as we get ready to launch off the starting line for our first race of round one. We are green as we take on this modified St. Louis style track. Heading into our first turn, it looks like Zack Anana does have a lead, and coming out of it, he is the first one down the straightaway and on those brakes early. Around the turn, yes, it is all Zack Anana doubling down on his racing wins here. I mean, he hasn't taken the win here tonight, but he took a win in round one, which means, you know, he's one step closer to getting back to that Dubby final round. We'll see how he does as we move throughout the rest of the night. Here is a rematch from Metlife Stadium a couple weeks ago. Devin Barber in Avenger bringing out the whiteout version of Avenger, brand new custom scheme just for MJ Dev. He had a hand in influence for this truck. We did make it specifically for him, so shout out to MJ Dev as he from show 4 on will be picking all of his schemes as we go throughout the season. Tyler Menninga in HyperShock. Like I said, they're facing off once again. Tyler Menninga did not do good round one in Metlife Stadium. He wants to do better for Team Mayhem this time around. How is he going to do? Taking on Devin Barber in Avenger once again, coming through this first turn. HyperShock looking good. Devin with a big slide. He is nice and tight around the turn. He's not too far behind, but that could have put him in jeopardy. Big slide from both trucks. Tyler Menninga out wide on the exit, and it is all Devin Barber once again over the line. Team Thunder's Avenger heading into round two, knocking out Tyler Menninga. You would think Tyler Menninga behind the wheel, he wouldn't take a loss, but here on the Rorsrps channel, he's just not doing too well in racing so far. Jake Cranford in Gravedigger coming out next on your left, taking on John Gordon in Bad Company. Both of these trucks for Team Mayhem. So either way, we're going to get Team Mayhem heading into the next round. Jake Cranford looking to knock out his teammate here. I got to be honest, man. He's upset with his standings right now in the overall points for the entire season and here on this tour. So he wants to come back hard here in Gillette Stadium. We'll see how he does here in the first round of racing, taking on John Gordon, who didn't do too bad in racing last time around. I believe semifinals. So we'll see how he does this time, as we are already up and over that first finishing jump here in this race. Heading into their final turn. It is a close race. We've had a few close ones so far tonight. Over the line, though, super close. It is going to be Jake Cranford by inches. Now, here's the thing, guys. For freestyle, we have 2 judges. The scores from the 2 independent judges come together to create an average, which is our freestyle score. Here in racing, if we get a really close race like that, we do get multiple opinions, and that was definitely Jake Cranford in that Gravedigger truck. Blown money. Rick Steffens coming out next on your left, representing Team Thunder, taking on Dave Reed in Northern Nightmare, representing, Team Mayhem. Northern Nightmare, another one of those trucks that didn't really do too well in our first show when it comes to racing. He's looking to come out here and do better this time around. All around, really. He went over early in freestyle, too. So he's coming into show 2 with a vendetta. I'll tell you that much. We'll see how he does here in round 1 as we launch off of that starting line and head into our first turn. Oh, Dave Reed in trouble. Letting her eat, bringing it back down. But that is going to hurt his pass big time. It is Rick Steffens with the lead right now. They're actually not too far apart, but another sloppy turn on behalf of Dave Reed lets Rick Steffens get a nice clean win here in round 1. Rick Steffens, blown money, on to round 2 tonight, knocking out Dave Reed here early in the competition. We'll see him again in freestyle. Hopefully he can throw down a solid freestyle run tonight. But here comes our racing runner-up from Metlife Stadium a couple short weeks ago. E.J. Hayden, Edward John Hayden in Blue Thunder, taking on Bari Musau in Zombie. Now, when you hear the name Zombie, obviously you think about last season when he absolutely dominated his tour, aside from one opponent, Medusa. Both of those 2 trucks made it into the World Finals. Zombie did pretty well in qualifying, decent in racing, pretty solid in freestyle as well. He's looking to come out and do it again, this time with the Tour Championship, this time with a World Finals Championship. Can he do it is the question. It all starts here in show 2. Off the line, it is close so far as we head into this first turn. Beautifully done from both trucks. This is going to be a close one. Another one. Really tight turn from Bari Musau in Zombie. Does he get it? He does. Zombie. Bari Musau on to the next round tonight. One step closer to his first racing win of Season 2. Can he knock out the rest of the competition all night long is a different question. But here in round 1, he's on his way. Shane Lake in Gravedigger coming out next. He'll be taking on Preston Perez in Monster Mutt Rottweiler. Now, this is the all-Team Thunder race here, so no matter what, we got a Team Thunder truck heading into round 2, kind of leveling the playing field when you think about that all-Team Mayhem race from earlier on in the bracket. We'll see how they do here and who comes out on top and ends up in round 2. Shane Lake definitely looking to improve on his racing competition from last time around. Went out early in the round 1 bracket. Wants to make it up into round 2. Can he do it is a different question. We got Monster Mutt Rottweiler here who can give him some competition, but we'll see if he does here tonight. Launching over that jump, an absolute booter, let's just say that, because these guys are flying tonight. What a turn from Shane Lake in Gravedigger. Preston Perez fighting for his spot right now. Big wide turn in the final one, and it is gonna be Shane Lake, the Dogfather, in Gravedigger. Moving on to round 2. What a pass from Shane Lake. He needs to keep that up all night long if he wants to see that Dubby final round, but a nice practice run here in round 1 definitely does not hurt, only helps him as we move on throughout the night. Bryce Kenny in Mohawk Warrior Fire, representing Team Mayhem, coming out on your right. He'll be taking on Cam McQueen in Bro Camino. Bro Camino, a solid competitor. Went out pretty high in the leaderboard for freestyle last time around. definitely wants to bring some racing points into the equation here. Mohawk warrior Bryce Kenny did well up until, I believe, the semifinals when he caught a car or just, you know, threw that truck a little sideways. And it ended up on 2 wheels for a second, which hurt his pass and put him out. He wants to keep that truck down on all 4 BKTs here in round 1. Let's see how it goes as we head into our first turn. Nicely done. A close race. Big slide from Cam McQueen, though. He may be a little bit behind heading into this final turn. Who's going to take it to the line, though? It is close, but not close enough. Bryce Kenny in Mohawk Warrior with a clean-cut victory here in round 1. What a pass from Bryce Kenny. We'll see if he can keep that up all night. He's taking on, I believe, Shane Lake next round. So this is going to be an interesting race. Oh, no, he'll be taking on one of these two here. Trevor Goldberg in Max D, representing Team Thunder, taking on Jackson Challet in Piece of Scrap, representing Team Mayhem. Now, Piece of Scrap went out early in the racing competition last time around. Ended up, I believe, 2nd place in the freestyle leaderboard. So he's definitely a freestyler. We'll see if he can improve on his racing performance here tonight. But he'll have to get through Trevor Goldberg in that Max D truck. Now, these are 2 different drivers for the Max Ds, but it is the same exact setup. So this could go in the way of Max D. We just got to see what happens as we are already over that first jump. Big rebound from Trevor Goldberg. And Jackson Challet may have a shot here. It's looking close right now. How are they going to handle this final turn? Oh, man. Oh, man, this is close, but it is Trevor Goldberg in Max D Nitro, representing Team Thunder. Moving on to round 2. What a race to close out this first round. Let's take a look at our round 2 bracket. But first, be sure to subscribe, guys, if you are enjoying tonight's episode. Leave a like for me. Let me know in a comment. Also, check out the RORSRPS Instagram for all kinds of extra content. Early access to the week's racing bracket, pick party pictures, and more, including, you know, racing and freestyle results, you know, news about the channel, that kind of a thing. But yeah, subscribe, guys, if you are enjoying. We got new episodes every Saturday. But let's get a look at this round 2 bracket here. Max D with Team Mayhem is going to be taking on Avenger. Gravedigger will face off against Blown Money. Zombie against Gravedigger, and Mohawk Warrior against Max D. Now, this is interesting. We have both Gravediggers and both Max Ds in round 2. Who's going to come out on top is anyone's guess, because this is going to be a race right here. I can tell you that much. Zack Anana in Max D with that split scheme, taking on Devin Barber in Avenger. MJ Dev himself in that whiteout Avenger. I do honestly really like the look of this whiteout Avenger. Pretty awesome. Definitely gets fans talking when we bring this thing out for the pit party and he debuts. Special schemes for the shows. But we're going green here for our first race of round 2, launching over that starting line, or I guess over the finish line. We're not finished yet, but launching over that finish line. Who is going to take it as we head into our final turn? Really close race. Devin Barber does look to be a little bit behind. Can he come back in the turn? Closer than I thought it was going to be, but Zack Anana nails it here in round 2 once again, and he is on to the semifinals. Devin Barber out in round 2 once again, but we'll see if he can improve at some point during this season. Got a long way to go. Rick Steffens in Blown Money coming out next, taking on Jake Cranford in Team Mayhem's Gravedigger. Jake did great in round 1. Definitely looking to see him continue here in round 2. The only thing that stops me from saying that I'm rooting for him is that I do want to see Team Thunder compete this season. I don't want to see them get blown out of the water completely by a Team Mayhem domination. So we'll see what happens here as we move on through the night, launching off of that starting line and over that first jump. It is a close race so far, hitting the ground at the exact same time. Jake Cranford with a nice tight turn in our first turn of this race. When it comes down to it, it is going to be close, it looks like, but it is all Jake Cranford over the line. Gravedigger moving on to the semifinals here, knocking out Blown Money. Rick Steffens behind the wheel. Team Thunder taking a loss here this time around in our first 2 races of round 2. Here's Team Thunder versus Team Mayhem once again. Bari Musau in Zombie representing Team Mayhem, taking on Shane Lake in Gravedigger representing Team Thunder. This is definitely a solid couple of competitors here. Like I mentioned already, Zombie with the domination of Season 1. Shane Lake, really one of the only couple of Team Thunder trucks that really did well last show. Mainly in freestyle. You know, he went out in round 1 of racing last show. But, I mean, hey, anybody could take a loss in round 1 if you get paired up against, you know, somebody who just has a better night, for being honest here. Heading around our first turn, Shane Lake struggling a little bit for grip, it looks like. Big slide through that first turn. Around our second turn, he does manage to come back a little bit, but it is not enough. Bari Musau in Zombie is heading into the semifinals, taking that third spot. Only one race left of the second round. Who is making it into our semifinals to grab that final spot? Trevor Goldberg in Max D has a shot, but so does Bryce Kenny in Mohawk Warriors. Been a couple of solid lineups as far as racing goes here in round 2. Bryce Kenny, Mohawk Warrior Fire, returning after a solid Season 1 performance, made it up into the World Finals, got a few freestyle wins, or a couple freestyle wins last season. Definitely wants to do it again, looking for a racing win, which I believe would be new for Bryce Kenny here on this tour. Trevor Goldberg looking to turn it up as we move on throughout the season. It is close here as we head into this first turn. Both trucks with some beautiful turns in our first turn. Coming out of it though, Bryce Kenny does have a slow exit, and it is gonna be all Trevor Goldberg. A slow turn in the final turn from Bryce Kenny as well. Trevor Goldberg in Max D Nitro representing Team Thunder is on to the semifinals, grabbing that last spot. Let's take a look at our bracket here. It's Max D versus Gravedigger, the biggest rivalry of Monster Jam history. Team Mayhem versus Team Mayhem as well in our first race. Then we got Team Mayhem versus Team Thunder with Zombie taking on Max D Nitro. Who is going to come out on top? Who's going to make it into the final round? We have a shot here at either Gravedigger versus Max D in the finals once again, or two Max Ds. Could be Zombie, but we just got to see what happens. Definitely the more interesting prospect would be Max D versus Max D, or Max D versus Gravedigger. But I mean, Zombie definitely has a shot. You cannot count him out. Zack Anana on your right now. He'll be taking on Jake Cranford in that Team Mayhem Gravedigger. Team Mayhem is moving on to the finals. No matter what, we are launching off of that starting line. Who in the greatest rivalry of Monster Jam history will come out on top here in the semifinals? Coming around that turn, it looks like Zack Anana has it. Jake Cranford doing good out here tonight. Does he have enough? No. Zack Anana, clean cut win once again, heading into the Dubby final round. He is our first competitor making it up into that Dubby final round. Jake Cranford, not enough tonight. Zack Anana may be able to do it once again. Trevor Goldberg in Max D coming out next on your left, representing Team Thunder. Team Mayhem with Bari Musau on your right. Trevor Goldberg is all over the track trying to gymkhana his way through this Gillette Stadium floor here. But need to get lined up for the race, buddy. Come on. Bari Musau, like I mentioned, he's looking for some racing wins. He's looking for some big points, not only to help out and represent Team Thunder, but just for consistency's sake. I mean, he wants to come out on top once again, and this time take the Tour Championship. As we head over the starting line, who is going to take it as we get into our first turn? Zombie looking good. Big slide from Trevor Goldberg, but he is absolutely flying. It is close. Look at the turn from Trevor Goldberg. And it absolutely blows Bari Musau out of the water. That final turn from Trevor Goldberg, I mean, both turns really were great from Trevor, but that final turn absolutely chucked that thing in nice and tight. And that means that it is Max D versus Max D in the Dubby final round. Team Mayhem taking on Team Thunder. Wow. Zack Anana launching onto this track, getting these fans hyped up. for an incredible battle here. Not only is it Team Mayhem versus Team Thunder in the final round, but it is Max D versus Max D. And if you want to feel as incredible as the fans here in Gillette Stadium do right now, you can get hyped up with some Dubby energy, and you can get 10% off using code RORSRPS only at dubby.gg on the internet. Check them out at dubby.gg on Instagram or on their all-new app on both the Apple and Google Play stores. And you can really get some good flavors, man. And with energy powders, it's not like an energy drink. I mean, you could dump an energy drink into something, but me personally, right now, I got a fruit smoothie with some Dubby energy powder in it, and that is what is getting me hyped up and ready for this show. And you can feel just like I do, just like the fans do here in Gillette Stadium. Get amped, get hyped, get ready for your day with Dubby energy. But let's go racing for your Dubby final round. Launching off of that starting line, it is a tight race so far, and it could only get better as we head around this first turn. Trevor Goldberg taking a wider approach to the first turn. Zack nice and tight. Who's going to take it when we get down to this final turn? It is close, but to the line, it is Zack Anana in Max D representing Team Mayhem, who takes the win once again. Zack dominating the racing competition so far on this tour. Wow. What a night once again for Zack Antezana, on kill from the start. And he is turning up here with the fans in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Ooh, a hard hit on the nose in celebration. I mean, man, you don't want to break the truck before freestyle. Luckily, these V4 trucks are absolute tanks, and it can take any celebration Zack Antezana has to throw at it. But he's going to park it right on top of that massive hill and show that thing off to the fans one more time before getting prepped for this absolutely massive freestyle competition that we have ahead of us. One last look at Zack Antezana's split scheme Max D, our Dubby Racing Champion here in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Let's take a look at the points awarded for tonight's competition. Max D for Team Mayhem ends up with 39 points. Max D for Team Thunder takes the second place spot, with 25 points. HyperShock and Zombie both with 24 points. Gravedigger for Team Mayhem with 22. Jackson Challet in Piece of Scrap with 21. John Gordon and Bad Company with 20. And Shane Lake for Team Thunder in Gravedigger with 17 points. Mohawk Warrior Bryce Kinney with 15. Preston Perez with 14. EJ Hayden also with 14. Blown Money Rick Steffens with 11. Dave Reed in Northern Nightmare with 10. Same for Devin Barber in Avenger and Cam McQueen in Bro Camino. And last but not least, it is the amazing Spider-Man Bernard Lyght with 2 points. Don't worry, guys, he is a sub, so he is in his own category. That will not hurt him. We'll see how he does in freestyle. But let's take a look at our points here. Total 175 for Team Mayhem. They still hold the lead heading into freestyle. And Team Thunder holds 103. But if you guys enjoyed this racing competition tonight, we have new episodes every Saturday, so be sure to subscribe and tune in. I will be here with you just for the ride, really. I'm here along the way, and I'll be your host the entire season. And be sure to check out the Rorsrps Instagram. We got all kinds of extra content over there, and just stuff that I randomly throw out here and there. Some news about the channel if there's anything important. But yeah, guys, subscribe, like, let me know if you enjoyed in the comments below. But definitely check out our channel partner, guys. Dubby has clean, jitterless energy, 0 artificial dyes, 0 sugar, 0 fillers. And Dubby gives you focus and energy without the jitters or crash. And I love them, guys. I'm drinking Dub Sludge right now. Like I said, I got it in my fruit smoothie next to me right now, and it's pretty good. I got pineapples, blueberry, and some spinach in there mixed in with some Dub Sludge energy powder, and you can get some energy from your smoothies, guys. But thank you guys once again so much for tuning in. Be sure to stick around for freestyle coming up in just a minute. I'll see you there.